Welcome back, everyone, to The Explainer. Look, if you're tuning in today, you're probably looking for highly practical, intensely focused information, and well, that is exactly what we're going to deliver. Today's Explainer is breaking down a very specific set of financial tactics for generating emergency income. We're not talking about long-term investments here or, building a business over 5 long years. We are talking about actionable methods to get actual cash into your hands immediately. If you're strapped for cash and need a lifeline right this second, you are definitely in the right place.
24. That number is the entire premise of today's analysis. Every single method we're about to explore is bound by one very strict rule. It has the potential to put real money in your pocket within 24 hours of starting. This isn't about setting up a revenue stream that magically pays out at the end of the month. No, this is about immediate, urgent financial triage. When an emergency strikes, you just don't have the luxury of time, and these methods are entirely designed to respect that reality.
Okay, let's really dive into this because this quote perfectly captures the mindset we need to adopt today. Not 30 days, not 6 months, today, right? If you're completely broke right now, financial theory doesn't help you one bit. Promises of future returns do not pay today's utility bill. The methods we're examining shift the focus away from the long-term financial planning we so often talk about and pivot entirely to solutions for today. We're going to look at several specific avenues that operate on this hyper-accelerated timeline.
All right, Section 1. Quick cash, gig economy apps, hustling for same-day pay.
So, let's break down the trade-offs between your main quick cash options here. First up, we've got TaskRabbit. This app connects you directly with people needing immediate help with everyday tasks. Think furniture assembly, yard work, or moving boxes. Taskers in major US cities are pulling in anywhere between $25 and $75 an hour, and you can get paid the exact same day. If you're physically capable and have a smartphone, this is a seriously prime option. Then, in the second category, you've got your major delivery apps: DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart. They average around $15 to $25 an hour, and that includes tips, plus they offer instant or same-day pay options. But there is a catch. You absolutely need a vehicle, a valid license, and you have to pass a background check, which realistically takes about 24 to 48 hours to clear. Finally, look at the third category: same-day labor apps. We're talking Instawork, Wonolo, and Staffmart Connect. These platforms post immediate shift opportunities at warehouses, event venues, restaurants, and retail stores. You apply, get verified just once, and start picking up shifts paying $15 to $22 an hour, with most offering same-day or next-day payment.
Now, if you do decide to go the delivery route with something like DoorDash or Uber Eats, strategy is literally everything. To maximize that $15 to $25 an hour average, you absolutely must target peak earning windows. The data shows us that these are Friday evenings, Saturday lunch, and Sunday brunch. That's when the volume of orders hits its peak, and much more importantly, when the tips are the most generous. Think about it. In an emergency cash situation, you just can't afford to waste gas driving around during dead hours. You've got to strike when the demand is hot.
Moving on to Section 2. Zero approval, selling your stuff. Cash without the wait. While those gig apps are fantastic, they sometimes come with that annoying 24 to 48-hour waiting period for a background check. But what if you literally do not have 48 hours to spare? While selling your unused items, specifically on local platforms like Facebook Marketplace, bypasses the digital gatekeepers entirely. The real beauty of this method lies in the 3 zeros: zero application, zero approval, zero commute. There is absolutely no red tape here. You don't have to wait for an algorithm to verify your identity. You simply look around your room right now, find something you no longer use, price it competitively, and arrange a local meetup. You can literally have cash in your hand before the sun goes down.
$50. Now look, $50 might not sound like a life-changing amount of money in the grand scheme of things, but in an emergency cash crunch, selling just one $50 item lying around your house is a massive, immediate financial win. It can literally be the difference between keeping the lights on or putting just enough gas in your tank to get to work the next day. It requires absolutely nothing but your own initiative and an item you already own.
Which brings us to Section 3, the plasma bonus, the ultimate hidden gem.
Okay, so we've talked about gig apps and we've talked about selling your old stuff, but I want to ask you directly. What do you think is the fastest paying method on this entire list? There's actually an entirely different medical-based avenue that unlocks immediate capital faster and in much higher quantities than running late-night food deliveries. It's the one method that most people completely ignore or honestly just simply never think of when they're in a real financial bind.
And here is the crucial point. This massive number right here, $900. This is the top end of the potential earnings for donating plasma. Yes, donating plasma. But we really need to focus on exactly why plasma donation pays up to $900, because it's really not what most people expect. I mean, you aren't getting $900 for just a single quick visit.
That $900 figure is specifically tied to new donor bonuses. When you first walk into a donation center, a single initial donation pays a very respectable $50 to $100, and you get that cash immediately. However, to incentivize new people to join their system, many of these centers currently offer massive promotional bonuses. These can run anywhere between $500 and $900 total over the course of your very first month of donations. So while you get a fantastic, immediate cash injection on day one, it also acts as this really high-yield emergency pipeline for the next 30 days.
Now, naturally, people always have questions about safety and legitimacy here. Let's be explicitly clear. This is completely legal, and it is entirely medically supervised. We're talking about highly regulated, verified donation centers, places like BioLife, CSL Plasma, and Grifols, which operate locations all across the USA. This isn't some shady back-alley transaction. It's a highly sanitized, routine medical procedure that just happens to compensate you extremely well for your time and, well, your biology.
And the timeline here is incredibly efficient. It's just a simple 3-step process. Step 1, you undergo a basic eligibility health check just to ensure you're totally safe to donate. Step 2, you sit for the donation process, which takes about 90 minutes for your very first visit. Step 3, you literally walk out the door with money that exact same day. You invest an hour and a half, and the financial return is immediate. It's that simple.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 4, the Emergency Income Reality Check. Active versus passive money.
Look, it is absolutely vital to understand the difference between what we've discussed today and true long-term wealth building. Every single method we just covered, TaskRabbit, DoorDash, Facebook Marketplace, the same-day labor apps, and even that awesome plasma donation bonus, they are all emergency income. Why? Because they demand your physical time, your physical presence, or the liquidation of something you already own. They're the textbook definition of active hustle. None of these methods are passive. They are the tools you frantically reach for when the house is on fire and you need money now. But they are not the methods you use to build long-term wealth, because let's face it, you cannot endlessly trade your hours for dollars without completely burning out. Real, long-term wealth is passive. It earns while you are literally not working.
So, we end on this thought. Which of these emergency methods will you reach for the next time you find yourself needing money today? Are you going to assemble furniture on TaskRabbit, clear out your closet on Facebook Marketplace, or perhaps walk into a BioLife center to tap into those massive new donor bonuses? Having these tools in your back pocket is absolutely essential for surviving financial emergencies. But remember, basic survival isn't the final goal here. Make sure to join us in our next explainer as we pivot away from the active hustle and dive right back into the methods that earn money while you sleep, the true foundation of passive wealth. Thanks so much for learning with us today, and we'll see you next time.